Eric, will you speak about the Equip Expo? Why Luke said it's your Super Bowl, why it's so important to John Deere, and you guys have what it looks like is the biggest booth at the biggest trade show in the lawn care landscaping space. You guys got lights under your mowers. You have a podcast studio here. I mean, you guys went all out. Why?
Yeah, we're committed to this industry. We love to partner with our customers. We know there's a need for our equipment in this industry, and what is super important is to stay engaged with that audience, learn their needs, their pressure points, and understand how we can be better to solve their issues. If we can't help make our customers more efficient, more productive, more profitable, or even just healthier at the end of the day, from an ergonomic and physical perspective and mental perspective, we're not doing our jobs. So engaging with the customers here at Equip helps us continue to ensure we do that. So you gotta love the product or the service that you're putting out there, and be prideful in that. That's where that passion comes from. And then you best be having a good time doing it.
Welcome to today's episode of the Green Industry Podcast. Our special guest today is a returning guest for the third time, I believe.
Yes.
Eric Halfman from John Deere. Luke Gribble was talking trash. He was gonna,
Oh boy,
get more podcast interviews than you, but
I got in here.
you got the lead. Welcome back to the show, Eric.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good. Good to have dinner with you last night.
Yeah.
Although I go to bed at 9 p.m., so the party was till 10, and I asked Chris, I was like, you mind if I go home and go to bed? So I was tired, but it sounded like you guys had a good time.
Yeah, we did. Got a little music in for some customers, certainly for you, Paul, and some of our dealers that were able to make it too.
Yeah, the band was good.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So cool. Well, Eric, the joke last night, the guy was talking about his Gator, and then Chris is like, what's a Gator? And you were offended because
it was a trigger for me. Everybody knows what a Gator is in the John Deere world, but many don't know how much Gators have evolved. So if you say John Deere Gator to someone, some folks think of the Gator that we launched 30 years ago, and still see those similar Gators running around from 30 years ago because they're a dependable machine. They work great in work environments. But we also have evolved with other product lines within the Gator family that we've launched this year.
Tell us what's new at John Deere this year, Eric.
Yeah, so the XUV 845 and 875 we launched this summer. We actually just cranked up the factory to start spitting those machines out for our retail customers out there. Did a complete redesign of the cargo box. If you get a chance, I know you're busy, but if you get a chance, and for the folks at Equip that are seeing the cargo box configured and customized to specific job tasks. So I talk about that cargo box going from the kitchen drawer with the spatula and the whisk, and every time you open that drawer, you know what's in there, but you can't find it. And that's how people have treated the cargo box in a utility vehicle for years. They just throw everything back in there. How about we engineer and be very purposeful on how we develop the cargo box so that you can customize it. You can customize it with John Deere accessories. You can customize it with dimensional lumber that John Deere isn't going to sell you, that you can afford very easily, so that if you're doing a task, it's set up, it's repeatable, it's less stressful. You're not searching. That cargo box is organized with tools and materials for your job. And it's big. It's the largest in its class. So you have the opportunity to do a lot of things. So you take that drawer that you're searching for the great spatula to make those eggs. And now, instead of having to search, it's more like your silverware drawer. You can find the fork. The fork is there every time. The spoon's in the same spot every time. It's organized.
Fun. Those are expensive machines. If somebody might not just have the cash laying around, do you have in-house financing, or how does somebody go about getting a Gator?
Absolutely. So we've got offers right now running through the end of October on model year 24 units, 0 for 60. We have some cash in lieu offers up to $2,500, $3,500 off on Gator utility vehicles. So yeah, you know John Deere Financial. Our company has its own financial arm, allows us a lot of flexibility and to come up with really creative finance solutions for customers, especially in the PLC space where we can do seasonal stuff and skip payments, things like that.
Totally. Let everyone know, how many years have you worked at John Deere?
So I've been with John Deere working on a little over 26 years now, working on my 27th year. So me and Chase and there were a couple people. We were in a meeting the other day with a customer, and we're all popping off. It's kind of the John Deere thing to speak to how many years you've been with the company. So yeah, working on my 27th year right now.
Congratulations. I want you to speak to the lawn care business owner, because our world, Eric, it's hard to get someone for 1 year.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 27 years. Can I get somebody to show up tomorrow morning who's not hungover, who actually show up,
Yes.
who has a car? Like, when your job is mowing grass and string trimming and laying down mulch, it's very difficult to motivate somebody to go do that. Why have you worked at a company for 27 years? What has John Deere done that has gotten you performing well for them? Obviously, if you didn't perform well, they would have got rid of you a while time ago.
Yes.
So what has gotten you, my question, Eric, is motivated you to perform so well for John Deere that you've made it here for 27 years and seems to be, continuing?
So I kind of got two answers with that one. One, I think I've told you before, I grew up in Horicon, Wisconsin, which is where our Gator utility vehicles have been built for over 35 years, where our first residential lawnmower was built in 1963 when we got in the consumer mowing space. So I have a passion for where I grew up, second generation. So there's that piece, right? Being open and honest that I've been exposed to the brand at a very young age. John Deere snowmobiles and old mowers. The other thing is the people, right? So culture and people, John Deere's a big company. So the culture is very hard to develop, a culture that goes from, the secretary or, factory manager's staff all the way to a CEO, right? That's difficult. But what we've been able to do in our teams and our smaller teams that we work with each and every day is to really work on culture and develop awesome relationships from a people perspective. So you gotta love the product or the service that you're putting out there, and be prideful in that. That's where that passion comes from. And then you best be having a good time doing it. And that good time is like last night.
I could tell you just the way you guys are cutting up is like the way, Mr. Producer and I, we've known each other for years. And we got here, Eric, the first day, and I'm in the bathroom using the restroom, and there's a knock on the door. Housekeeping? So I'm instantly thinking, oh, come on. I thought it was him.
That's the producer, yeah.
Well, next thing you know, housekeeping really walks in. It really was them. And I walked out. We both looked at each other. He's like, you probably thought that was me. I was like, yeah. But it truly was the Equip Expo housekeeping team. But we have that genuine friendship, even though we have a working relationship. How have you at John Deere? Because the way you guys were cutting up last night, I could tell you all get along and like each other.
Yeah.
How has that developed?
Yeah, I mean, it's again, if you look at a lot of people you talk to and the number of years they've been working for the company, there's history, there's a lot of story time type opportunities that we can share with each other, but also because we have that history, but also with the younger generation employees that are coming in and going, hey, this is a really cool company. If you show up and work hard, you have an opportunity to play hard too, right? And you earn that right to play hard by working hard. And I really like the freedom and the opportunity for that. So in sales and marketing, a lot of great opportunities to get out and be with people, our customers, our dealers, influencers, and really develop relationships. That's the really cool part for me about the business and why a lot of us stick around John Deere.
So good. You mentioned advice for us down in Florida. We had a hurricane knock our trees over, knock signs off buildings, street lights. I was walking before I came here and just glass all over the place. I haven't been in Florida for a few days. I think you saw one of my hurricane updates.
Yes.
So I miss making those. It's kind of fun. I mean, not the tragedy that happened, but I always kind of want to be like the guy on the Weather Channel.
You were the news reporter.
Yeah. So I got to do that for a few days. And then I came up here to Louisville, and it's like I'm going to step back into what will seem like a movie war zone type place. You said you had some advice for us, or the cleanup efforts, or where were you going with that?
Our dealer organization the way it is, and some of the folks from Everglades are here. A few dealers from Florida are here because this show is very important to them, and the fact that they were able to keep their businesses up and running. A couple of them I had heard they were utilizing Starlink generator power to keep their businesses running, so that the PLC industry, that your audience is going to be immediately engaged when a natural disaster happens, right? Yeah, the advice I would say is that our dealers, number one, just like our company, take care of employees first, make sure everybody's safe. And as soon as we can ensure that's happened, deploy, execute on what we talk about each and every day with taking care of our customers and preventing downtime. And downtime is one of the biggest issues in the industry. Well, when it's a natural disaster and people's lives are on the line, it becomes maybe even more important.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, I know we kind of got to wrap up here. You have a meeting at 11.
I do. So I was going to speak to you about training, dealer training.
Yeah, teach me about that, and then I had another question for you. So let's rapid fire it here.
All right. So real quick, we train our dealers every couple of years in Florida. We've been doing this for many, many years. It gives them on the job type experience. They get to operate a ton of equipment that maybe they don't have the opportunity to at their dealerships because it's brand new. They don't want to start selling people used equipment that they actually want new of. But at any rate, we have pretty thorough training programs in Florida, from the smallest lawnmower, our commercial mowing equipment, skid steers, CCE equipment, all the way up through our agriculture equipment. Many, many years ago, for our turf products, we did that in Sarasota. We did that at the Polo Club. Yeah. So we would stay downtown, and we would.
That's where I live.
Yes.
I live at Main Street downtown.
Yeah. Yep. So we'd stay at the Hyatt.
Yep.
And then overflow at the Ritz when the Ritz got built.
Yeah.
Kind of right down there on the water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Had a lot of great
Sarasota
times.
Bay.
Yeah. So dealers that have been around, John Deere employees that have been around, have a real affinity for the Sarasota area.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Now we're in Orlando.
Okay. Well, I've only been in Sarasota since June, and I fell in love with it. It's wonderful people. It's obviously the breeze off the Gulf of Mexico and the Sarasota Bay. I just love walking. I was showing Chris a picture of where I go walking every morning over a bridge, or I just walk on the beach at Longboat Key. It's stunning there. I love it.
Yeah, and we have some test facilities down there too, actually. So work a lot of mowers with a lot of hours in sandy conditions, right? In rigorous conditions as well. So a lot of the product you see here, the commercial mowing pieces have been tested down there as well.
Eric, will you speak about the Equip Expo? Why Luke said it's your Super Bowl? Why it's so important to John Deere? And you guys have what it looks like is the biggest booth at the biggest trade show in the lawn care landscaping space. You guys got lights under your mowers. You have a podcast studio here. I mean, you guys went all out. Why?
Yeah, we're committed to this industry. We love to partner with our customers. We know there's a need for our equipment in this industry. And what is super important is to stay engaged with that audience. Learn their needs, their pressure points, and understand how we can be better to solve their issues. If we can't help make our customers more efficient, more productive, more profitable, or even just healthier at the end of the day, from an ergonomic and physical perspective and mental perspective, we're not doing our jobs. So engaging with the customers here at Equip helps us continue to ensure we do that.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time. Is there anything we're leaving out here that needs addressed?
No, I would just tell everybody, get in your pickup truck, take a drive across the countryside. You're going to see that Leaper John Deere logo. Make sure you stop in, say hi to the local dealership, learn about a piece of product maybe you didn't know about or haven't tried before. You'd be surprised how well we engineer our products for the tasks that your folks are doing each and every day.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for dinner last night. Thanks for the time and space. You said you got the upgrade for us.
Yes,
they were going to give us something plain Jane, and we are very, very grateful and thankful and appreciative. Eric. This is awesome.
Thank you. I know you do a ton for the industry and influence the industry in very positive ways. So I appreciate what you do for us as well.
Thank you.
And for all those hardworking guys out there, gals.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, you bet.